Children, today we will continue heat chapter. Half chapter we have explained that day, in which you read about heat, effects of heat, temperature, and device used for measuring temperature, then how to use thermometer, conversion of Fahrenheit to Celsius, Celsius to Kelvin, all. And today we will start with transfer of heat. So now children, transfer of heat. As it is clear from the name, transfer of heat means heat shifted from one place to other. Where? From where to where? When hot tea in a cup is poured into a saucer. You must have seen sometime the tea is very hot. So some people pour some hot tea in a saucer. So what happens? Saucer gets warmer. Okay, and the tea becomes little colder, isn't it? Why? The tea was hot, so some of its heat get transferred to the saucer. Okay, and because the heat transferred from the tea, that's why tea gets cooled down. Okay, saucer gains heat and tea is losing its heat. So see, that's how the heat is transferred. So the flow of heat from a body of high temperature to another body, okay, another body of the or another part of same body, sometime another body or the part of same body means another part of same body means, see, when you heat any rice or anything in the cooker, we are cooking anything, you must have seen the heat get transferred to its other end also, isn't it? Because we feel hot from where we are holding it, any pan, any vessel, isn't it? Because heat get transferred. So the flow of heat from a body at high temperature to another body or to another part of the same body, okay, which was of low temperature, is called transfer of heat. You can see in the figure, hot object, from the hot object heat is getting transferred to cool object, isn't it? Now how heat is transferred? Heat is transferred in three ways. There are three methods for the transfer of heat. First one is conduction, second is convection, and third is radiation. So transfer of heat takes place by the three methods: conduction, convection and radiation. So first of all, we will discuss about the conduction. What happens in conduction? See children, obviously it is a transfer of heat. All three methods are for the transfer of heat: conduction, convection, radiation. So what is conduction? Conduction is a process of transfer of heat in a body. Body means any object, from its hotter end to the colder end, as you can see in the figure. See, pan is kept on the gas flame. First its bottom gets heated and then slowly heat gets transferred towards its handle also, isn't it? But in this case beta, when heat is getting transferred, because this method always takes place in the solids. Remember, conduction, the transfer of heat by conduction takes place only in solid things, solid objects. And in solid, molecules are very tightly packed. So what happens when one molecule is getting heated? It cannot shift, it cannot move, because there is no space between the molecules or particles. So what happens? The heat is transferred to other particle but without shifting. There is no actual movement of the molecules, isn't it? So the conduction is a process of transfer of heat in a body from hotter end to the colder end without any actual movement of molecules of the material. And this method always takes place only in solids, not in liquid or gases. Okay, and see, now I will explain you. I'll give you one day-to-day example. I'll take one example from your class only. Suppose I have to distribute your notebooks. In the class you all are sitting and I have to distribute notebook. See, I can distribute notebooks by in three ways. Okay, what are these three ways? First, I'll discuss first one. See, and you must have seen generally we follow that method, isn't it? I'll give notebook to first. I will hand over notebook to the first student, and I ask him to pass it on to the next student. Then the second student will pass it to next student, third will pass to fourth, isn't it? We do this method in our class. We pass our notebooks in this manner, isn't it? See, in this, no student is changing its position. They are only passing notebooks, isn't it? Without changing their position. They are not coming out of their seat. They are sitting at their place and just keep on passing, isn't it? Same way, heat get transferred. Same way in conduction. Got it? But for conduction, two conditions are necessary for conduction. Which two conditions? First one is two objects should be in contact with each other. Two object means like I kept here, see in the figure, pan is in contact with the gas flame, isn't it? Both are in contact with each other. Will you be able to heat your pan from a distance? If you will keep above the gas flame, means 2 meter above, or a few centimeter above also, will you be able to heat your to cook anything? No. So in conduction, heat will not get easily transferred by this method. So both the bodies should be in contact with each other first of all. Second, they should be at different temperature. Yes, when you are keeping pan on the gas, that time your pan is at the room temperature, isn't it? But gas flame is it is having high temperature. So both the objects should be at different temperature. So these are the two conditions necessary for the conduction. Now children, conduction can take place only in good conductor, as it is clear from the name. You read in class 6 also what are conductor, what are insulators. So conductors are the material which allow the heat to pass through them quickly. See, we can prove this by you do one activity. You take very hot water in a pan, very hot boiling water, then dip one steel spoon in it or any ladle. लैडल होता है ना, जिससे हम दाल और कोई भी लिक्विड चीज़ बनाते हैं, तो एक लैडल रख दीजिए. यू विल सी कि द हैंडल ऑफ द लैडल विल ऑल्सो गेट हीटेड आफ्टर सम टाइम. इट गेट्स हीटेड, नो? हाउ? बिकॉज this ladle is also made up of metal. It is a good conductor, so it passes heat to its other end, isn't it? So all the metals or alloys means alloys are made up of by mixing two metals. When two or more metals are mixed together, it forms alloy. Okay, like bronze metal you must have heard. Bronze is an alloy. Okay, so all the alloys, because they are made up of metals, and all the metals are good conductor of heat. So in these materials, conduction will take place. Got it? But there are, and if now you remove this steel spoon, in place of this steel spoon, if you will keep any plastic spoon, okay, do you find any heat at its other end? Will you find? No, I don't think so. Its other end will not get heated. Why? Because it is an insulator. It will not allow heat to pass through it. Okay, so all the paper, wood, air also. Air is an insulator, children. And most of the liquids and gases and pure water is also insulator. But the water which is coming through your tap, it is a good conductor. Okay, children, remember this. I told you earlier also in class 6. That's why when you are heating your water through immersion rod, don't put your hand when your immersion rod is switched on, because water is a good conductor, so you will get electric shock. Okay, but pure water is insulator. Pure means distilled water. Pure form of water is insulator. Tap water is conductor. Don't get confused. So children, we read about conduction. And you know that's why children, all the cooking utensils are made up of metals, because they are good conductor. They can conduct the heat, and so food will be cooked easily, isn't it? And that's why their handles are made up of PET conductors, isn't it? Plastic handles are there in cooker, in pan, isn't it? They all are provided with plastic handles, insulating handles or bed conductors, so that we can hold it without getting our hand burnt, isn't it? But now we will discuss about the convection. Okay. Unlike conduction, convection takes place in liquid and gases. Okay, liquid and gases are bad conductor of heat also. I told you earlier. Okay, so that's why they cannot conduct heat. That's why the heat cannot be transferred in liquid and gases by conduction. Okay, in liquid and gases, heat gets transferred by convection. What is convection? You know, in this convection process, transfer of heat take place by the actual movement of molecules. Because children, you know the structure of liquid and gas also. In liquid, molecules are little far from each other, isn't it? So what happens when they get heated? They means they start moving, because there is space in between their particles. So they move, and then then other molecule gets heat. It will pass to other, because they are getting space also, and they move, they shift from their place. So here the heat is getting transferred by the actual movement of molecules. Okay, this is called convection. Now children, we can see this convection in our nature also. Okay, what are these? Sea breeze and land breeze. Sea breeze and land breeze. They are the example of convection current in nature. Now, what is sea breeze? You know what happens, children, in coastal areas where is sea? Okay, that is coastal area. So, in coastal areas, what happens during the daytime? The land gets heated faster than the sea water. You can see here also. If you keep water on the roof, okay, in a bucket, and roof is your suppose that is land, okay, roof, and you after 1-2 hours you go up on the roof and you see which one is getting heated, where you are, which one is more hot, which one is more hotter, water or land. You will find that the land is getting more heated than water, because land gets heated faster than water. So same way in coastal areas, what happens? Land gets heated during the daytime, land gets heated faster than sea. Now what happens? Because the land is heated up, so the air above the land gets warmer, and warm air is always lighter. Warm air or hot air is lighter than cold air. And you know, light things go up, it rises up, isn't it? Are you getting my point? What I am saying? I am saying because the land is getting faster, so the air above the land gets heated, it gets warm, and warm air is lighter, so it rises up from the land and it will move towards the sea. And from the sea, children, you know, the cold air or the cooler air will move towards it will take the place of warm air. From the sea, cooler air comes towards the land to take the place of hot air or warm air. So this is called sea breeze because sea breeze means pleasant wind. From the sea, cold wind, cooler wind is coming towards the land. So now convection current is set up, isn't it? By the actual movement of molecules, what happens? Heat is getting transferred from the land. Heat is going towards the sea, isn't it? And from the sea, cold air is coming towards the land. And that's how they set up a convection current. Current is set up. You can see the arrows. See, these arrows are showing convection current. Red and blue arrows making circle, no? So it is making a convection current. Same way, land breeze. Now what happens? As I told you, during the daytime, land gets heated faster. Okay. Now what happens? At night, now land will, after daytime, means after midday, now land will start cooling slowly, and water was taking more time to get heat. Okay, so what happens? At night time, land cools more quickly. Okay, because it was getting heated earlier, so now it will cool early. So land cools more quickly than the sea water. So now where is cool air? Above the land, isn't it? Sea water is warm now comparative to land air. Land, sea water is warm. So above the sea, the air will get heated now. And this air again, it is warm, so it is lighter. As it is lighter, it will rise up and it will move towards the air above the sea being warmer rises up, and the cooler air from above the land will go towards the sea to take its place. This is called land breeze. As it is clear from the name, land breeze. From the land, pleasant wind coming now, isn't it? So and it will set up a convection current because there is a convection current. Air is moving from the above the sea towards the land. Sorry, from the land towards the sea. So that's how a convection current is set up. Okay, and you can see these convection current. After studying this convection, you must have seen in your homes there are ventilators near the ceiling. सीलिंग देखिए, सीलिंग मतलब सीलिंग फैन लगा है ना, आपके अंदर सीलिंग में फैन लगा है, और आपके वेंटिलेटर्स इन योर होम यू मस्ट हैव सीन, they are also near the ceiling. Why they are there? Because ventilators are there to remove the warm air from the room, isn't it? So what happens? Warm air is lighter, it rises up, so from the ventilators it can easily escape out. It will move out. If ventilators will be down near the floor, what will happen? All the warm air will remain in the room and person will feel suffocate, isn't it? Chimneys also, you must have seen, chimneys are also near the ceiling. चिमनी से ऊपर लगाई जाती है ना, क्यों? बिकॉज warm air rises up, so the smoke will go out easily, otherwise it will remain in the room. See children, I am giving example of convection I forgot in previous slide. See, as I told you, passing of if I want to pass notebooks in your class. So there is another method of passing notebook. I tell all the students to make a line, and then I'll call one by one. Take your notebook, go. Take your note. So one is coming and taking notebook, going back. Second is coming, taking notebook, going back. Beta, this is similar to convection. Okay, in convection also similarly molecules get heated up. They take energy, then go there. They take energy, move from their position because there is space. Okay, as you must have seen bubbles coming up in water, isn't it? So see, convection is similar to this example. Okay, But now we will discuss the third method of transfer of heat, that is radiation. Okay. See children, during winter season, whenever you sit in front of an electric heater, you feel warm, isn't it? So how does this heat from the heater travel to your body? It is traveling from heater to your body. Why? How? Because see what happens, the air between you and the heater is a bad conductor. As I told you, air is an insulator. So what happens, the heat cannot be transferred through the air, because air is insulator, so air is not transferring heat. But from the heater it is coming to you, isn't it? Isn't it? So this is the method of transfer of heat known as radiation, in which the medium is not getting affected, because radiation needs no medium. In this method, transfer of heat take place without affecting from the hotter object to the cooler object, without affecting the medium. See, between you and heater, what is the medium? There is medium is air. But as I told you, air is an insulator, so air is not getting heated, it will not conduct heat, isn't it? So directly you are getting heat from heater, and this method is called radiation, in which medium is not getting affected. Okay. So all hot bodies, if any hot body is there, it radiate heat. So you must have seen, if any hot pan, you bring your hand near it, you must be feeling heat from the sun, isn't it? We are getting heat nowadays. See, so much heat is there around us, isn't it? We feel heat. Okay, because sun is radiating heat, and from the sun we are getting heat. In this method also, children, when the heat is coming from the sun to us, it is not affecting the medium, because between sun and us also there is air. Okay, and air is insulator, it will not get affected. So this is also a which method? Radiation. Okay, but what happens when from any hot object heat is coming, or when any hot body is radiating heat? Like I am giving you example from the sun. As from the sun heat is coming on the earth, some part of this heat is getting absorbed and some is getting reflected. Reflect means कुछ वापस चले जाता है टकरा के. After striking to the earth, some get reflected and some part of heat is absorbed, isn't it? It happens in the case of all the hot bodies which are radiating heat. Okay, so whenever heat is coming from any hot body, its some part is getting absorbed and some is getting reflected, and this absorption and reflection depends upon two things. What are these two things? First one is the nature of surface. Nature of surface means, children, if the surface is smooth surface, shiny surface, it will be a good reflector of it. It will reflect heat. When the heat will fall on it, it will reflect most of the heat. Second, color. Color also, dark color. Dark color is always a good absorber. Light color is better reflector. As I told you, smooth surface, nature of surface means smooth surface. Smooth surfaces are good reflector. Same way, light color or shiny colors are good reflector. That's why it is advised that during summers we should wear light color clothes, because they are good reflector of heat, so we will feel less heat. And during winters, it is advised that we should wear dark color clothes. Why? Because dark color clothes are good absorber of heat. They absorb more heat. So we should wear these dark color clothes during winters, not in summer. Got it? So this is And this radiation I will explain you with this example. Again, same examples. I have to distribute notebooks. Now here is third method of distributing notebook. How? I am sitting in my place, you are sitting in your place, and I'll throw from directly from my place to the specific student. Whose notebook is that? I will throw from there directly. It is not affecting to you, other students. Without affecting to other student, it is reaching to that student only. Whose notebook is this? Isn't it? So this is same way heat get transferred in radiation. Isn't it? Radiation is similar to this method of distributing notebooks, in which no children is getting affected and notebook is reaching to the specific student directly. I am throwing, reaching to him. No one is getting disturbed in between. Got it? I hope you will understand by this method with this example easily. Isn't it? Now children, there are some more applications of radiations. What are other? First I have told we should wear light colored or white color clothes in summer because they are good reflector of it. They absorb less heat and keep us cool. On the other hand, we should wear black or dark color clothes during winters because they are good absorber of heat and keep us warm. Okay, same way the house in hot countries are usually painted white or light colored because they are those countries are hot, so there is much heat, so they should color they should paint their homes with light colors because light color is good reflector. The light color home will reflect the heat, so what happen, they will feel less heat inside it and it will keep their home cool during summer. The bottom of cooking utensils is painted black while the sides are sparkling white. Yeah, you must have seen most of the utensils, their bottoms are painted dark colored. Okay, why? Because dark color is good absorb by heat, so they will cook food easily and quickly in very less time, isn't it? And solar cookers also, they are painted black from the bottom, okay, to absorb heat from the sun, and they will cook food easily. Okay, I have shown in the figure. See, this is an example of house in hot countries because from the sun much heat is coming, so they paint their home in light color. Okay, now children, see, during winters you wear woolen clothes. Why? And how these woolen clothes keep us warm in winter? Children, wool is a poor conductor of heat. How? And you know, in between the wool fibers, because the woolen fabric is made up of woolen fibers, so between these fibers there is gap. In these gap air is there, and air is an insulator, as you know, and insulators do not allow heat to pass through them. So what happens, because in between the wool fiber there is air, so it will not allow body heat to go out. Okay, and that's how it keeps us warm during winter. Okay. So now children, this chapter is over here. Okay, I hope you will understand it easily. If any queries, any doubt, you can call me anytime. So thank you children, have a good day.